love, I guess, the war of the grease paint. I love being on media, which my husband, who's an introvert, thinks I'm nuts. But what I said about trying to promote what we do, trying to spread that, trying to, find a way to comment on politics, on what's going on in our world, to write, to do those kinds of things, in addition to practice, in addition to being a grandmother, in addition to being a wife, in addition to everything else. But this is something I didn't say earlier, that I wish I would have sooner really tuned into the passions that I had for writing and speaking and those kinds of things, because I think Kurt Vonnegut put it really well. Kurt Vonnegut said, if you want to be a writer, never major in English, because they'll rip you up, and then you won't have confidence in your writing. So it took me a long time. And then I started reading the writing from our profession, and I went, gee, this is not, the bar's not too high here. So I wish I could have started those kinds of things sooner, and I always want to do more of that, because I love it.
I wish you hadn't said that, because that triggered a memory in me that made me lose my train of thought. But I think I got it back. I was so bad at what Janet asked, the balancing the roles part. I was going to answer that question, by the way, but I was just going to ask and let Joe go first. I was so bad at that when I retired, my health was so bad that it's taken me 4 years to get back to a point where I feel that I could take on something more than just, work with somebody on a book or something. I did something else recently. But I want to work with veterans, and I'm on the Veterans Task Force now, and I noticed the Veterans House is right in front of us. I'd love to stop by there on here. I'm trying to, the veteran, I can't even get the veterans people to, and then I need to talk to me. I need to get an introduction. But I want to work with returning people. And be better at that kind of balance. And that's why I put that in there, because that's one of the things I learned. You need to be better to yourself and not wear yourself out so that you're no good for your family. But the other thing I wanted to say was that the joy of teaching. I'm still teaching, and 2 weeks ago I taught my granddaughter, who's 19 months old, to say grandma. I cried.
I wish I could give you a professional and uplifting response to that. But all I have is the truth to work with. And my truth is that my professional identity is as a psychologist. However, my personal identity, my life identity is not as a psychologist. So my next is a process of winding down. I am now working only 3 days a week. Hopefully by this time next year I'll work only 2 days a week. I'll probably continue doing that until I'm about 70, since it's easy to work in our profession, physically. And for me, I'm now using the time that I was spending working to do things that are extremely uplifting for me, which is flying around the country in my airplane, spending more time with my wife, spending more time enjoying the beauty we have created at home, unprofessional things. That's the truth of my life.